In this video, I'm going to share on how Zenith made $6.7 million in revenue. So success leaves clues, and the clue is an article, right? So this whole thing is mainly based on an article, and this is where Evan, who is the founder of Zenith Learning Group, he actually shared on his story about how Zenith actually it was able to reach $6.7 million in revenue, annual revenue lah. So this was dated 22nd January 2023. So I do have a growth tracker, which is essentially a Google sheet that basically shows you how much of revenue that you can get if you charge how much, you have how many students and how much of churn or students leave, and how many new students per month. So roughly this is around. It kind of checks out because in the article he mentioned that in his previous year, previously from 2022, he got around 2,000 students, which is super impressive, right? So I'm going to share in this video on how what things or three things that they did well, and also what three things they can do to go to the next level. All right. So let's get started on the first part, which is three things they did well. So I would say three things: focus on expanding more than one subject, give a lot for free, and also pay tutors very well, pay and hire well lah. So let's get started on the first one, which is focus on expanding more than one subject. So essentially in the article, he mentioned that he just didn't want to teach 200 students a year, I think by himself, right? 200 students a year is also very good, right? So he wanted to replicate the same success to other teachers, which I'm a big fan of, right? Teach the teachers because they will, help build the business. Because in especially in education, the teachers are super important. So and that's where he was able to get thousands of students every single year because he managed to teach the teachers on how to teach well. So and when he teach other teachers, he teach on more than one subject. So this was back in 2021 where there's a simple Instagram post on the lesson schedule, and you can see that he has expanded to four subjects. So what I've seen talking to tutors is that they only focus on one subject, which is okay because that is your expertise. But the thing is, if you want to create a business, then you need to know how to also expand your services so that you can provide more value and also increase revenue so you can provide even more value, right? So most of the time tutors will just focus on one subject and then just try their best to get as much. But the thing is that it's actually easier to teach or hire other tutors to teach other subjects, hire other tutors who are experts in the subjects, and you can actually increase your revenue by then. So, for example, maybe you teach math and then maybe you earn a certain amount of revenue, 100K, but you're able to get another tutor who teaches, for example, economics. And for the same students that you have, you can also provide them with, hey, I have another tutor who's pretty good at economics. Do you want it? So you 2x your revenue. And then with four subjects, you 4x your revenue. Simple math, people don't really do it because a lot of reasons, right? But that's one thing that I like about Evan and Zenith is that they focus on more than one subject, which is very good because that means they can provide a lot more value and also have more revenue in return. So the second thing is what I really like is that they give a lot. So in the article, he mentioned that you want to maximize the amount of value. So what's value, right, to students and parents, right? So later I'll share about what they actually give, right? So and the thing is that I think that's okay. He also mentioned here lah, to free discount lesson. He also has food, coffee machines, and even massage chairs. So for example, right, a welcome pack to maybe an open house, he gives a lot, like food, like pizza, bubble tea, tote bag, a file, $10 Starbucks koi card. This is back in 2021, right? So that's like an amazing, what do you call this, lead magnet. So for those who know business terms, or for those who don't know what actually lead magnet is basically a magnet is to attract, lead is someone who's interested. So it's something to attract someone who's interested in the service that you're providing. So a lot of times the lead magnet from a lot of tutors is just free trial, which is good. But at the same time, a lot of tutors or tuition centers out there is also providing free trials. So how do you differentiate or make it more attractive? And that's what Zenith actually have done. They actually provide a lot of things. I think they also add notes as well, right? So this kind of because I want to show like back in 2021 or a few years back, it's like they've already been doing it for a while, and they have been doing it more, right, ever since. So these are things that you don't really think about until you see why you are not growing, and that's why, right? So I've learned from Alex Homozy that your lead magnet must be so good and to a point where people actually charge money for it. And this thing over here, people will charge money, even though it might be discounted, but Zenith just made it free, that kind of thing. So it attracted a lot of people, and that's something really, really good, really, really, really good as well, right? And also maybe you've seen in their Instagram where they actually also give food as like their like bubble tea and whatnot, and which is something very refreshing, very new, because in a way you're so giving value, not giving value, but it's a nice way to feel that you are taken care of, because everybody likes free food and everybody likes free good food, right? Okay, and then lastly, this one thing that I think a lot of tutors that I've talked to are struggling with, which is hiring, right? So for Zenith, what they do is they do this thing called commission model. So commission model is essentially they don't give a base salary. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it's outdated already, but essentially like they get a split maybe in revenue or profit, I don't know, but this is something that they are able to do. And this is where Evan says that, okay, at least in 1 year, on average, you can earn around $16,000 a month. With $16,000 a month as a business owner, you can attract a lot of people, right? Even for people who don't teach, right? And that is very, very good. And then he also mentioned that the 24-year-old could make 24K a month, which is actually very, very good. And the thing is that if you don't have money to pay, it's very hard to find very good talent. So the thing is that I always mention lah, if you want an okay business, hire okay people. If you want a great business, hire great people, right? It's pretty simple. I've hired people before, and great people are pretty expensive because they are great. They know their value, and that is where he done it very well because he's able to pay them very well, and that means he also get very good talent as well. And the education business, right, your like the main important part, okay, other than the sales and marketing, right, is also your operations or your education experience, and also how good the teacher is, because the teacher can make or break the student experience, right? So generally for me, I think I'm a good teacher because I generally am very lame. I make jokes. I tend to like talk to students even though I don't have many students nowadays, right? But essentially that's I think one thing that is really good about these teachers, that I believe they are very, very good. That's why they can attract a lot of students, and with this commission model a lot of students means they can earn more. And how you do that is to actually be a very good teacher, both in terms of teaching the subject and also being a good teacher to the students, right? So congrats on that. All right, so yeah, on summary, usually that's how you do it lah, right? So you're gonna follow, or what are the clues to look for. These are honestly the three things. It's not something amazing. It's just like people just don't do it because many reasons, right? Okay, so now what are the three things that they can go do to go to the next level? So don't know if you know, I do business coaching for tutors to grow their business, right? So for me, generally what I'll do is I'll just say increase your price, right? So I do understand that tutors tuition service is very common, so price sensitivity is there, which I totally get it, right? But the thing is that let me just go to this slide. I skip a slide first, but essentially, right, why I would justify price increase, because if you give a lot, right, for example, if you're a tuition center who actually provides food and whatnot, I don't know if you know lah, but food cost has increased, your GST also increased, and then your rent probably also increased, right? So the thing is, a lot of things are increasing but your price are not increasing. So it's like it's actually logical for you to increase the price, because you also need to pay all of the other costs that also increases, right? And the thing is that, like, I'm not asking you to increase every single year, right? I'm asking you to just increase one time and see how it goes, kind of thing. And even if you're able to increase the price and generally you also add more profit and revenue, with this profit you can give more to your tutors, and your tutors are happy, they stay longer. You also can give more to the students as well, because happy tutors, happy students. Oh my god, that's a good term. But yeah, so it's always good to have more profit, right? Because I mean, if you really care about the student experience, your business, you always reinvest back. The more you earn, the more you can reinvest back, the bigger the company grows, right? Is that, yeah. So essentially, if I were to ask you to increase the price for example, by $25, right, from 350 to 375 on average lah, the price increase, right? You generally have 500k more in terms of annual revenue without doing anything by just increasing the price. So, I mean, I've done this before in my previous education business. Our profit has very good, because it's like I can do more. Like I can literally do more for the students. And they might be thinking students might not join you. So it depends on. But in Zenith case, they have a brand, and brand can demand higher prices generally, right? Like people will pay Apple because they are a very good brand, and what brand does is essentially association. Apple is mainly associated with ease of use, high quality, and sometimes luxury. So if Zenith has a very good brand, I think their brand, from my perspective, is very welfare based, and a lot of I would say thing that students can look forward to, because sometimes tuition centers can be something that students don't really look forward to. And then if there is a very good case to this, then I think it's more than justifiable to increase the price. But what do I know? Okay, next one, right, is to improve the offer. How do you improve the offer? One way is to add a guarantee. So I like how Jonathan Stark says, if you're good at what you do, then why wouldn't you guarantee your work, right? So I think it's like, for example, an Apple iPhone, they don't have guarantee. Their guarantee is a warranty, right? Maybe it's because like in most countries they require you a warranty, but I believe they are very good to a point that they are okay having a warranty, because like they are confident that their product, the Apple products, actually will work very well, right? And that's the warranty that they show. I've done guarantees before in my previous business. It actually had a lot more, I would say. Okay, I would say that people will be quite impressed saying that you guarantee this kind of thing, because why they are impressed is because they know that like you are to what you say. You say you can improve my results, you put a guarantee, that gives me confidence. And that also reduces bias. It's easier to make a biased decision. Oh, it's a guarantee. If I don't like it, then yeah, 7 days refund. So this is just an example. So for example, if you want to join a tuition center, both the same, but one says if you don't like in 7 days, you can ask for a refund. That's it. And then who do you think the student will actually join? Someone who guarantees in a way, if you don't like or guarantees result or whatever guarantee, they will probably join it because it's an easier way to justify why they want to go for yours, right? So that's something that you take note. And this is only I would recommend if you're very confident in your skills. In my previous business, I stood by my guarantee because I knew that if you followed whatever I teach and actually do, you actually can, back then I was teaching coding bootcamp, can actually get a job. Because if you can't do it, and the guarantee also has terms and conditions, so if you don't do certain things, then it's like, I want to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself, right? So that's something that guarantees actually plays a good part. So I would say operationally it kind of increases, meaning that you have to track certain things. If how you create these kind of guarantees, but it does increase the operation. But I would say it's better because you get more people to buy. So more students join because of this guarantee with, I would say, not high operations. I think that's pretty good, right? So for those who don't know what operations is, it's like basically you add more processes to your current business. That increases, I call it operational drag. And the thing is that most of the time businesses want to reduce operational drag as much as possible. But this is always a pros and cons. If your guarantee increases in terms of revenue by a lot, which I think it will, then the operational increase justifies, right? So that's something to take note of. Okay, and the last one is to give a ridiculous offer. So that's what I kind of did in my previous business. Essentially, someone actually paid full price, right? We usually have promos, but someone actually paid full price. From then on, I knew that, oh my God, like actually someone will pay for this price, right? Because they see the value in it. And I mean, yeah, it's like you never know when you try. So for me, it's like I would recommend this because this doesn't really do anything to your sales, to be honest. It's just another option. So one thing that I wanna play around with the idea is, why nobody give a year or like a full year kind of promo where say, if you join us, it's $4,000 for the rest of the year, right? So and then 7 days guarantee, whatever, and you can say unlimited lessons, which is essentially all lessons, right? Then you just put the value, right? You basically package it well, unlimited snacks. So anything that you provide, you just package it well with the worth beside it, because people don't really see the value. Some call it salesy. I don't really care. This is just what I recommend. So when you give ridiculous offer, you'll be surprised on people actually buying this, because you might think, hey, $400 a month, $300 a month, that's very normal. You get normal results. But once you go insane offer, you might get insane results, and that is something that you might do more in the future. Because most of the time, people, like, a lot of times I faced it. We need to chase payments, especially on a recurring revenue, right? Especially you don't do like automated subscription kind of like payment. You do invoices. That's where you need to hire people to ask people for payments, which is very normal. But the thing is that, what if you can solve all of this by just having one of this, which is, you pay 4K, you can literally do anything and everything, right? So give a ridiculous offer, because and 4K is actually a very low price. Maybe increase to 5K, 6K lah, right? And then you can still serve them, but maybe a bit more, right? And this is where you, like I mentioned in my previous business, like, actually people do pay that price. I'm like, oh my god, right? So this is something that you can work on for 24/7, for outings, dinner provided every single day, free holiday enrichment lessons. So everything that you want to do, if a student were to do everything, price it, sell it, right? Something like that, right? So this is very good, especially when you start out the year, because later down the months, then of course your lifetime value of the student decreases by a lot, because they don't really join you. So always, and most of the time, if I were to ask all business owners, would you rather have high upfront money, or you want monthly recurring? They most of the time will say, I want high upfront money first, because you don't have to chase payments, you get money in first. And I think, okay lah, but I don't know if other people agree lah, but like for me, generally, I rather have high upfront money first, rather than recurring or whatnot, because it's you always want more money in, so that you can play around and more value, that kind of thing. Right, so that's it for this. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want more of these kind of videos, subscribe down below and comment down what are things that you might be doing to help you from these learnings to help you grow your business. With that said, see you in the next one. Bye bye.